Hello, it's me. It's time for more of the usual. Elvis Justice is back with a new episode. Slightly a bit delayed because of technical difficulties, but you know, it's here. And I honestly don't have much to say here. I just know that we're probably gonna have a very stern talking with Rainbow in the defendant's lobby, and that Pinky's probably gonna be causing some chaos because it's Pinkie Pie of all people. So yeah, let's go ahead and get into it, shall we? Like, look at this thumbnail and tell me that Luna is not gonna have a good time here. It's gonna be rough, but hey, we can turn this around, and hopefully there'll be less shenanigans than a regular Ace Attorney case. But no guarantee of that. So yeah.
Previously on Elements of Justice.
Today's proceedings shall center around the collapse of Wonderbolt reservist Streamline. The hospital administered a tox screen, but the initial report came back negative.
The victim was poisoned with a substance known as grickle grass. The symptoms of said poison are very distinct, and they are a perfect match with the victim's condition.
Several ponies saw Rainbow swap a juice box with one in Streamline's locker, just before the collapse.
Then what happened to the one Rainbow swapped out?
10 to 1 says they were thrown out.
It was obvious from the start that Rainbow Dash didn't like Streamline. But now, calling Streamline a cheater. Now the whole court knows that you've been lying from the start.
Look at the defendant's face! Trust your eyes! See what they tell you! You say that no pony knows how your client could have snuck in poison, but we know some pony who most assuredly does.
The court will be given a 15-minute recess while the prosecution prepares their next witness.
As something tells me I'm going to need it.
Alright, Rainbow? We need to talk.
I can't believe it. The nerve of her, hiding that from me. Was Rainbow even thinking?
Sonata?
No, I guess not. Because apparently, I'm the only pony around here with a brain.
That's a little harsh, don't you think?
I swear to Celestia, when I see her, I'm gonna give her a piece of my mind.
Sonata, hang on.
What?
I just wanted to ask about that painting again.
That, painting?
Yeah, earlier. I saw you looking at it really intensely, and you started to say something about the pony in it.
Ah, right.
Did I?
You said that you knew him. That he helped you out a while ago?
Oh, yes. That's right.
So, who is he? Some pony you met at school?
At school? Mr. Wright, just how old do you think I am?
No, I meant he just gives off a teacher vibe, you know? Looking at him, I get the sense he's kind of like a mentor figure. And well, based on how you briefly spoke of him.
Okay, I suppose I can see that. But no, he wasn't a teacher. That is Atticus. Lawkeeper Atticus.
Atticus.
Wait, Lawkeeper? But I thought...
Yep.
The Lawkeeper is equity. That's still true. He, however, was the previous Lawkeeper.
Thought so.
The previous... I guess that means Lawkeeper Equity had some big horseshoes to fill. No wonder she's so tough. She probably spent years working her way to the top. And now she's head of the High Council itself.
Her path has definitely been rather unique.
Oh?
Sounds like some pony else I know.
But yes, the pony in this painting is the previous Lawkeeper. And I didn't meet him in school, by the way. I actually met him about a year ago.
A year? Wait, hang on. That was... You were still in jail, weren't you?
I was, yes. It's funny. I hadn't gotten any visitors, not after you. And I didn't expect any pony to stop by. Then one day, he did.
Oh.
A chance meeting behind bars. It's the stuff of children's tales and make-believe. Sometimes, I wonder if it really did happen. But then I remember what he did, what he said, and how kind he was to me. I didn't think I deserved it, but he was kind regardless.
If you don't mind me asking, Sonata, why did you meet him while in prison?
Well, you see...
There you are!
Alright.
I could
Look at
say
that
the
later.
same thing! You've got a lot of explaining to do.
What's there to explain?
How about not telling us your true relationship with Streamline?
You make it sound like she and I were close.
Close enough for you to accuse her of cheating?
Oh, so I'm the bad guy? Is that it?
You're your own worst enemy here, Rainbow. Do you have any idea how badly you've jeopardized your entire case?
How I've jeopardized it? What about you, Sonata? What about your lousy performance in there, huh? Some attorney I've got. You didn't bother speaking for, like, half of the stupid trial. And you didn't even present any evidence. And no matter what that detective or Captain Spitfire said, you didn't even object. Even Fluttershy could have done something as simple as that.
Rainbow Dash.
So why don't you get off your cold, moral high ground and take a hard look at yourself, huh? Because as far as any pony can tell, you're purposefully tanking my case.
That's enough, you two.
Yeah, diffuses Phoenix.
Look, Rainbow, I get why you didn't want to tell us what you accused Streamline of being. It could easily be spun into a motive.
Yep.
And if that had come out, it would have made it that much harder to defend you. That's why you kept silent, isn't it?
Yeah, that's exactly why.
But Sonata's still right. You not sharing that information with us has put us in a really bad spot. Now, the scales have almost certainly been tipped in the prosecution's favor.
Mm-hmm.
Nix, you're not saying...
Don't you remember our conversation the night before Athena's trial? About trusting the attorney, trusting them to uncover the truth.
I remember
Before
that.
Athena's trial?
That was about the Justice episode.
I do. I do remember. It's just...
Ms. Dash. I need you to clarify one other thing for me. What Detective Reed and Captain Spitfire said about you repeatedly accessing Streamline's locker. Was it true?
Yeah. All of it.
All of it?
Yeah. I managed to figure out Streamline's locker combo after watching her for a little bit. That's how I was able to open her locker.
And from there, you could swap out the juice boxes as you pleased. Rainbow, how? How could you do this to yourself? This means that the only information left from our investigation has reached a dead end. It's useless now. I may as well forget about that particular fact. We're worse off than I anticipated. Great. Ms. Dash, does this mean you...
What? No! I still never poisoned her! How could you even think that, Sonata? You're supposed to trust me!
Haven't I been telling you that this entire time?
We're at a disadvantage then. We're only learning of this now, but it seemed to me that Prosecutor Luna knew already.
Yeah, she did. She basically tore it out of me during my interrogation.
Ooh.
Tore it out of you?
It was a really rough session. Like, really rough. Rougher than Captain Spitfire's pep talks or one of Twilight's lectures.
Well, that fits Princess Luna to a T, doesn't it? They don't call her the Dark Mare of the courtroom for nothing.
No, this was different. How do I explain this? Look, I know Princess Luna's an intense pony, but she's never acted that way before. At least, not since...
Thunder Moon?
Never mind. It was probably my fault for trying to keep quiet.
I don't know. Most defendants don't exactly spill their guts during an interrogation. There are at least some things they only tell their defense attorneys.
Right. Better to tell the one who is actually fighting for your freedom than the one meaning to ensure you lose it.
Princess Luna should be well acquainted with that. Acting this way, it's...
Weird?
No, it's...
Dangerous.
Yeah.
If Luna truly was that hurt from the last trial, there may be no telling what she's willing to do during this one. An unpredictable prosecutor is even more deadly than a gimmicky one.
Yep.
Anyway, my guess is Princess Luna's gonna use that information when we get back in there. She'll probably have that next witness talk about it.
Speaking of, do you have any idea who this witness might be?
Not a clue.
Do you think it could be another Wonderbolt?
Maybe. There were a lot of them there that day. It could be Soren, or High Winds, maybe even Surprise.
Whoever they are, they could corroborate the claim that Rainbow tampered somehow with Streamline's juice boxes. No doubt the prosecution is counting on that. That's her last loose thread as far as Luna's concerned. And if that happens, we're sunk. But hang on, that's not the only thread remaining. Ms. Dash? On the day of the incident, you were swapping out Streamline's juice box.
Don't remind me.
But what happened to the one you swapped out?
Yeah.
I think if we could just find it, we might be able to use it somehow. Maybe even find some discrepancy that the prosecution overlooked.
Sonata.
Defense attorney, the trial is about to reconvene. Present yourself and your co-counsel to the courtroom immediately. Defendant, you need to come with me.
Hey! I've got legs, you know. I can walk myself in just fine.
Yet again, interrupted by the tragedy of poor time management.
Yep.
Just what was Rainbow about to tell me? Could it help in some way? Ugh. I guess there's no point in dwelling on that. I'll just have to ask once we get a free moment.
Okay.
No point in dilly-dallying. Better head inside before Prosecutor Luna chews me out for being tardy.
Hey, wait a second.
What is it now, Mr. Wright?
Look, I can tell you really want to help Rainbow out, even if she keeps thinking otherwise. And you've been doing great, all things considered. But that stuff I told Rainbow about trusting the attorney goes both ways. She doesn't trust you. I think we both can see that.
Obviously.
But you'll need to get her to trust you. And you'll need to do that by showing you genuinely do care for her.
Yeah.
I know, Rainbow. Words won't cut it with her. You need to show your faith through actions. You may not know how to do that at this moment, but I know you'll figure out a way. No matter how bad this seems, you'll forge a path ahead. After all, you've gotten this far.
Let's head inside, Mr. Wright.
Oh boy. This is gonna be interesting. I'm very nervous about this.
Court is now back in session. Prosecutor Luna, has your witness arrived yet?
Yes, Your Honor. It seems our witness had a little trouble finding the courtroom and got sidetracked. But rest assured, they are more than capable of enlightening us about the method of juice transport, among other things.
I'm happy to hear. Would you please call this witness to the stand?
Certainly, Your Honor.
This is it. This could make or break my case. But why would this witness be sidetracked? Maybe they were in the middle of preparing their testimony, trying to make it as ironclad as possible. Whoever they are, whatever they're capable of, I can't afford to back down.
Hi, Pinky.
You. What?
Hey, I know you. You're that lady whose hotel room me and Phoebe broke into that one time.
Pinky, now's not the time.
Oh, there's Phoebe now. Hey, Phoebe. And hey, there's Rainbow too. Hi, Rainbow Dash.
Pinky? What are you doing here?
You know, it's the weirdest thing. These police ponies came and asked me a bunch of questions. After that, they told me to be a witness at a trial today. I didn't know what they meant by a witness, though. Whenever I've made it to one of these trial thingies, I just remember the "Ooh, rise" and "Not guilty" parts. Oh, and that reminds me, I should have my early mid-afternoon snack. Really packs a punch. Or, wait, is it more like a mule kick?
Is there enough food for me to try?
Oh my god.
Your Honor, now might not be the best time for this.
Oh, yes, you're right. Witness, you took quite a bit of time getting here. Did you run into any issues or problems on the way?
Oh, no problems. I just got lost.
On the day you're meant to be testifying as a witness? That sounds like a pretty big problem to me.
I've only recently started traveling to Cloudsdale to visit Rainbow Dash, so I'm still a teeny bit unfamiliar with where everything is. After a while, I didn't know where I was, and I ended up finding a lot of cool places I'd never seen before and doing a bunch of cool things. Did you know you can make cotton candy with the right kind of cloud? Now I do. So I just kept wandering around and around, forgetting what I was originally doing. But before I knew it, I was right at the entrance to the courthouse. I suppose you could say I had my head in the clouds. Ba-dum.
Save the puns for a party, not the courtroom. In the meantime, state your name and occupation for the record.
Sheesh, Princess Luna, you're...
Witness, in the courtroom, you will refer to me as prosecutor.
Sure thing. Sheesh, Prosecutor Luna, you're one tough customer. But if there's one thing I know about tough crowds, it's that they can't help but smile once I round up the old Pinkie Pie charm.
Well, I will say, it's nice to have at least one bright face in this room full of gloom.
Yeah.
I guess it's nice to see you, Pinky, despite the circumstances.
But, as much as I love a bit of light-hearted banter, Prosecutor Luna is right. So, please, do as she says and state your name and occupation for the record.
No problem, Judgy. You can count on me. My name is Pinkamena Diane Pie, or Pinky for short, or Pinkie Pie if you want a little bit extra for the fun of it. I'm the assistant baker for the cake family at Ponyville Sugar Cube Corner and party planner extraordinaire. I do birthdays, holidays, welcome parties, dance parties, quinceañeras, anything you can think of.
Ooh, do you do luau's?
Your Honor, please.
Right, yes, sorry.
We love the judge.
Miss Pie, please testify for the court.
Okie dokie Loki. I'll get right to it, Artichoke. And see me after the trial about that luau. Rainbow Dash asked me over a week ago to bring some juice to the academy. And I asked her what kind of juice, apple juice, grape juice, orange juice, and she stopped me and said Sublime Sunset, and I was like, ooh, I know a guy. She asked me to bring 4 boxes to be delivered to the edge of the academy, out of every pony's sight, all super sneaky-like.
Huh.
Well, that was certainly a testimony.
More concise than other
Hey,
testimonies.
Phoenix,
Yes, Sonata?
this might be a little silly to ask, but you've interacted with Pinky way more than I ever have. And even with my talent of observation, she eludes me. So, do you have any advice for how to approach her?
Pinkie Pie definitely isn't what I'd call an easy witness.
Far from it.
But from what I've seen, she's a much wiser pony than she appears. Even if most of what she says seems a bit nonsensical, you can bet that there's at least something there you'll want to dig deeper on. I'd say try to ignore the unnecessary details and search for those little nuggets that could prove useful to our case.
I'll give it a shot. I appreciate it.
No problem, Sonata.
Alright. Love the background ponies, by the way.
Rainbow Dash asked me over a week ago to bring some juice to the academy.
Hold it! Did you find it strange that Rainbow asked you to bring some juice?
I actually did. No pony needs that much juice all at once, so I knew something was up. And do you know what I suspected?
What was that?
Juice addiction. That must have been why she wanted such a specific brand. She couldn't get enough of the stuff. So this got me thinking. Should I deliver the juice and enable this addiction, or should I go with my initial plan?
Plan? What plan?
My plan to throw Rainbow Dash an intervention party, of course. You know, a little something to let her know that we're concerned, but here for her, and ready to help her overcome her juice cravings. I was gonna throw it as a surprise at her house, invite some of our bestest friends over, and as a show that we're serious, we were gonna pour out all of the juice in front of her.
What? I don't have a juice addiction! Pinky, what the hey?
Pinky, you can't just make some pony go cold turkey like that. Have you ever heard of withdrawal?
Well, of course. That's one of the reasons why I decided against it.
A juice addiction? Why, I'd never even thought of that. Could such a thing really be possible, though? I know that my grandson is quite fond of soda.
I mean...
Goes the weasel?
No, Your Honor. I think Pinky meant it.
Can we get on with it? We don't have all day.
Sure thing. Now, as I was saying... And I asked her what kind of juice, apple juice, grape juice, orange juice, and she stopped me and said Sublime Sunset, and I was like, ooh, I know a guy.
Hold it! You know a guy? Who? I think now would be a good time to remind you that you are under oath.
Okay, I'll tell you. Do you know the juice box mare?
The juice box mare?
The juice box mare!
Yes, I believe I know this mare. The one who lives on Brewery Lane?
Well, this guy I know, he's married to the juice box mare.
The juice box mare?
The juice box mare!
He's married to the juice box mare.
Objection!
Oh my god!
Enough! The juice box mare is not relevant to this line of questioning. Witness, you will cease this restless prattling and provide us with pertinent testimony.
Okie dokie loki. But just know, if you ever need a good supplier, you got it. My lips are zipped.
I thought we were going to ignore the irrelevant details.
That sounded important, though, and suspicious. When some pony says they know a guy, don't you get a feeling that this guy might be a little shady?
Literally, yes. Pinky, not so much.
She asked me to bring 4 boxes to be delivered to the edge of the academy, out of every pony's sight, all super sneaky-like.
Hold it! So, no pony saw you?
Nope. Like I said, I was super sneaky-like. Rainbow was right to come to me because she's only, like, medium sneaky. She also told me to keep the whole thing a secret, which I would be doing if I wasn't under oath.
And why did Ms. Dash ask you to keep it a secret?
I just figured she didn't want any pony finding out about her juice addiction.
Of course you did.
So, was I good?
Yeah, you were good, Pinky. Real good. Maybe even the best. At leaving the courtroom at a loss for words.
Pardon me if I'm being a bit dense, but what was the purpose of this testimony again?
Well, according to Prosecutor Luna, this was to tell us how poison was brought onto the Academy grounds. But near as I can tell, that wasn't quite what was said, was it?
We admit that Miss Pye's penchant for pontificating makes our previous point appear pointless.
Gosh, that's a lot of peace, Prosecutor Luna. You know, maybe you should meet my sister Maud. She'd get a kick out of your alliteration.
Then, with all due respect, Prosecutor Luna, this hasn't done your argument any favors, has it? It seems as though it's without merit, if I'm being honest.
Only part of it, Your Honor. Besides, we are working through a situation built on subterfuge and intrigue. It'd be arrogant to assume every component of this case is clear-cut.
Normally, her admitting that would make me want to celebrate. But I have a feeling that she came to that conclusion during the testimony. I guess even she couldn't predict or control what Pinky was going to say, which would usually be a win for us, but Luna doesn't look too nervous because of that, or at all. It's like she's recovered completely. Does that mean she's setting up another argument? Better not jump the horseshoe. I need to wait and see what she's up to.
Nevertheless, though it was a bit unorthodox, the testimony has illuminated a certain point. Namely, the origin of the juice boxes the defendant used to commit the crime. Isn't that right, defendant?
Oh, right. That was something we needed to clarify.
Indeed. However, that wasn't the only reason I called in this witness today. Now, isn't there something else you saw, witness?
Is there? Oh, yeah, there is. Yeah, there is.
More testimony. I'd like to hope it isn't as nonsensical as this one. But what else could she have seen? And why did it make her suddenly deflate?
Very good. Therefore, witness, you will now testify as to what you saw.
This isn't gonna be good, I imagine.
I went back to Wonderbolt Academy after hearing that Rainbow wanted more juice. I was going to say no, because I didn't want to enable her, but going cold turkey wasn't going to help, so I planned to bring half of what I did last time. When I got there, I saw a crazy tornado tearing through everything.
The tornado again. Oh no. Does this mean...
Good gracious! An entire tornado? The winds must have been incredibly fierce that day.
Not quite, Your Honor. Here in Equestria, tornadoes are the product of weather teams, not wayward winds.
Ah, I see. Yet another difference there.
But note my specific wording. Weather teams. In other words, an entire team of Pegasi is usually required to form one. Under rare occasions, a single pony may have the wing power needed to produce it.
Was any pony hurt during the incident?
There were
only two. One filly and another Wonderbolt, Fleetfoot. Both are receiving medical care at the moment.
Huh. Why does Rainbow look shocked by that? Did she not know that there'd been a tornado?
That is still too many. But I suppose we should be thankful that the injured numbered so few. Defense, you may begin your cross-examination.
Interesting.
I went back to Wonderbolt Academy after hearing that Rainbow wanted more juice. I was going to say no, because I didn't want to enable her, but going cold turkey wasn't going to help, so I planned to bring half of what I did last time.
Hold it! Who supplied you with the juice this time?
Well, you see, have you ever heard of the juice box mirror?
The juice box?
Objection! You will cease this tomfoolery, witness, or I will make you. Do you understand?
Oops, sorry. I wasn't trying to joke or anything.
Let's move on then. As intrigued as I am, I'd rather not test Prosecutor Luna's patience.
Same here.
I was just telling the truth. I wasn't trying to turn this into a running gag or anything. Anyway, when I got there, I saw a crazy tornado tearing through everything.
Hold it! How is this tornado generated?
It was made nearby, silly.
Perhaps you could be more specific with your wording?
I saw it being made nearby.
Witness?
I saw a single pony making it nearby.
A single pony? No. She can't mean. I have to ask her. Who did you see, exactly?
Well, I would say, but it's really hard to
Alleviate the concerns of the defense. Surely they wouldn't ask if they didn't want the truth. And remember, you are under oath to testify.
It was a pony with rainbow hair.
That's why she was so reluctant to say it.
You mean Rainbow Dash?
What? That's impossible!
Can you see what is laid plain before you? The witness has seen with her own eyes the perpetrator of this event.
Hey, that's not what I meant.
That is ridiculous, Prosecutor Luna. Why would my client generate a tornado at all?
Do not tell me you are lagging behind already, defense. Very well. If your stalwart refusal to accept facts has left you as blind as a bat, I shall happily shine a light upon these dark corners. This tornado event and the poisoning incident both occurred on the same day. This obviously cannot be a coincidence. Rainbow Dash wanted to poison Streamline, but did not want to get caught. Moreover, she did not want the victim treated in time. For both things to happen, she needed bystanders' eyes watching something else. Therefore, she generated the tornado in an attempt to draw attention away from Streamline. That way, Streamline would succumb to the effects of the poison before she could be treated in time. The irony is palpable. In covering her tracks, Rainbow Dash has dug her own grave.
Prosecutor Luna, that still doesn't make any sense.
Why not, defense? It follows a certain thread of logic, to my eyes.
Because we heard from Captain Spitfire before the trial that the tornado occurred on the other side of the academy. Rainbow Dash was doing mandatory training during that time along with her fellow reservists, including Streamline. You aren't seriously suggesting she was in two places at once?
What? As though she had cloned herself? I refuse to allow us to venture down that rabbit hole again, defense.
Then it's your duty as a prosecutor to back up your claims with evidence, not guesswork. How could Rainbow Dash have generated the tornado while she was training with Streamline?
The answer is quite simple. And moreover, it can be found by re-examining testimony given earlier today.
Oh, I do not like the sound of that.
Did you forget that Captain Spitfire also mentioned Rainbow Dash's speed records from the Academy? It's not an exaggeration to say that Rainbow Dash is one of our fastest flyers. Streamline's almost just as good, too. The good captain isn't alone in this regard. I am sure were you to ask all of Cloudsdale what they find most memorable about their favorite daughter, they would, without a doubt, point to her speed. Ask your client yourself if you so wish. I wonder, will she lie about her competence as a flyer? Or will her pride once again be her undoing?
There's one thing I know about Rainbow Dash. It's that she is as sure of herself as the day is long. Even so...
Let me guess. You would argue that Rainbow Dash could not have left training without being seen.
That does seem a reasonable thing to conclude. There were many ponies at this event, weren't there?
True, but consider other contextual factors, Your Honor. While training is mandatory, eyes are not on the reservist all the time. There are too many, after all, doing too much all at once. If an opening presented itself and given the defendant's own speed, she could have easily flown away, created the tornado, and flown back. All after poisoning the victim, no doubt. It was simply poor planning and bad luck that Streamline collapsed when she did. Quod erat demonstrandum. Thus it is proved.
Indeed. What Prosecutor Luna has said holds a high degree of credibility. Defense, do you have any evidence to disprove it?
Oh no. Luna has me pinned. I don't have enough evidence to make an objection against that kind of logic. I didn't think she would have all of this put together so soon. I should have jumped on this when I had the chance.
Sonata?
You gotta do something, bro. That was Rainbow. Oh, Pinky!
Rainbow Dash would never do anything to hurt any pony on purpose. Never in a million bajillion quintillion years. She saved my life and my friends' lives and constantly keeps trying to be better. She would quit the Wonder Bulls in 10 seconds flat if staying meant hurting any pony else.
Pinkie Pie.
As to be expected from Rainbow's accessory to this heinous offense.
I'm not... Rainbow wouldn't try anything like this. She's only done little pranks in the past. All of them were harmless. Like this one time where all the cupcakes in Mrs. Cake's bakery were replaced with...
Objection! None of these past actions are relevant for today's trial. I would keep that in mind, lest thou art thrown from this courtroom.
Technically, I think only the judge can make that kind of threat.
Do you think Prosecutor Luna cares about proper decorum at this point?
What matters are the facts, witness. And I can name two of the most important. Streamline was poisoned, and Rainbow Dash was the one who poisoned her.
How could you do this to Rainbow after everything she's done?
Miss Pie, hold on a moment.
I know this is how ponies find the truth, but you don't have to be so mean about it. You're making everything she's done look like some kind of scheme. She worked hard for her dream. And she's your subject too. How can you say all that stuff about her?
Rainbow Dash cares not for the dreams of others as I do. Nor is she my subject while on trial. She is a criminal who attempted to dismantle the dreams of another.
No, she isn't. Why don't you say that?
Go off,
Why don't
Pinky.
you, witness? Look at the facts made bare. Have you been listening? Or are you just willingly being ignorant? No wonder Rainbow Dash had such an easy time gaining your compliance. Only a fool would be so gullible as to believe in her innocence.
Prosecutor Luna, there is no need for such harsh rhetoric.
Don't you talk to her like that! Can't you see how it's making her feel? She's gonna cry if you keep this up!
Objection! You were not called on to speak. Utter another word out of turn, and it will be your last on the record.
Sonata, if you got an idea, now would be the time to put it into action.
We need to do something
I don't know
now.
what to do. I've never seen Luna push any pony like this before. At this rate, she's liable to drive Pinky to tears. And if that happens, I won't have anything left to go on.
Well, we've got to do something. Maybe...
Damn it, I know. Just give me a second to think. But what even is there left to think about? Pinky, Spitfire, Philo? None of them have offered anything in Rainbow's defense with their testimonies. Darn it. If only Streamline was awake, then I could at least have some pony else give testimony. No
Wait.
pony else was there when... Wait, some pony else was there during all of this.
You know what? I've had it! You're not doing your job at all, prosecutor! No, Princess Luna! In fact, you're not even a prosecutor at this point! You're just a big bully!
How dare!
Enough! I will not allow a full-blown argument to take place in my courtroom! Miss Pye, though you are understandably upset, for speaking out of turn, you will be removed from the witness stand. I forbid any more testimony from you today. Prosecutor Luna, banter is one thing, but this is beyond the pale. Tread carefully and with dignity, or you will be penalized.
I apologize for my behavior.
Bailiff, escort Miss Pye out of the courtroom. Perhaps it will give all of us some time to calm down. I think we can all say that this trial's progression has been unorthodox. Still, the prosecution has proven the link between Rainbow Dash and Streamline. Does the defense have anything they'd like to add?
Luna showed her hand, Sonata. If there was any time to call her bluff, it's now. I don't think we can hold out any longer.
Yes, I agree. Now's our chance. Luna may have the judge convinced, but with some work, we can start regaining our footing. Better start with the best line of attack. I do have a few points worth mentioning, Your Honor.
Then let us hear them.
While I think we can all agree that the prosecution has done their due diligence, they have taken the focus off our original problem. This case isn't centered around a tornado. It's about the so-called poisoning that claimed to Streamline that very day.
Do you have more to add on that subject? I thought it was cleared up pretty neatly.
Except for two things about it, actually. The first would be Rainbow swapping out those juice boxes. Why would she do that? It would have been easier for some pony to simply put the poison in Streamline's drink without swapping them at all.
That point is still irrelevant. No matter how much you hem and haw, Rainbow Dash was already seen swapping out the juice boxes. The locker rooms were crowded. Rainbow slipping something into the victim's drink would have been noticed by some pony nearby. Had she actually been caught that way, this trial would have lasted mere minutes.
That brings me to my second point, though. Why go through all that trouble for a simple crime?
Yeah.
Perhaps Miss Dash didn't have the aptitude to commit even a simple crime. Any fool can complicate matters far beyond what is necessary, as proven here.
Did you just call me dumb? I oughta...
What was that, witness? Are you threatening a member of the court?
Before we start arguing again, there is a third point I must make. Your case against Rainbow Dash is not definitive, no matter what you say.
Yep.
Are you calling in question the testimony of my witness's defense? Do you wish for his honor to throw them all out? Is that it?
Your attempts at equivocating have gone on for long enough.
Yet here you are, rattling on like a steam engine on its last legs. Make your point, defense, or cease such noise.
All right, fine. Here's the main sticking point. Sure, several witnesses have come forward against my client. And sure, Detective Reed has suggested the poison used in this case was gricklegrass. But no testimony nor argument from the prosecution has been able to explain away a certain discrepancy. One that we can see if we look at one piece of evidence in particular.
Which piece of evidence, defense?
The toxicology report.
Yep.
Must we take another look at this document? Gricklegrass matches the report's description line by line.
Really? So you must see the line where it shows poison actually in the victim's body. I certainly don't see it from here.
Oh, that's right. That toxicology report came back negative for poison, didn't it?
It sure did!
Reports can exist. We can clearly separate a clerical error from what's in front of us.
The burden of proof falls on you, Prosecutor Luna. Stepping into this case without proper cause is grounds for an immediate dismissal of my client.
Your Honor, enough proof has been demonstrated regardless of what the defense claims. Surely you can see what she's trying to do. She means to inundate us through sheer stubbornness and an absurd quantity of needless questions in order to distract us from the irreconcilable facts.
There are irreconcilable facts, I will grant, but one of them is the lack of poison cited in the toxicology report. This is an attempted poisoning case, and without poison, you can't even have a proper trial to begin with.
Yeah.
Your Honor, you must agree with that at least.
I will say that this is a rather interesting dilemma. The toxicology report itself doesn't directly cite poison as the reason for Streamline's collapse. I'm afraid I cannot overlook such a glaring hole in this matter.
Thank you.
Yet the amount of evidence against the defendant is already compelling. She was seen actively swapping juice boxes with Streamline before her collapse. These two pieces should work in tandem, but what we are seeing, clearly, is a disconnect. For if no poison was found in the juice boxes, then why was the defendant swapping them at all?
Okay, here's my chance. I'm counting on you to back me up, Phoenix.
Here we go.
Why don't we ask my client that very question? Let her testify to that end.
Are you actually suggesting that for your next course of action? Have you lost your mind?
Sonata, are you sure that's a good idea? Rainbow didn't tell us everything the first time around. If we let her testify now, without any preparation, we might just have an even bigger problem on our hands.
Do you have any better ideas?
What about the toxicology report? If we asked for the test to be reevaluated, then we could get an extension.
That report is the only thing keeping us here. The fact that it hasn't been clarified is our one ticket to keeping Rainbow from getting a guilty verdict right now.
True.
Besides, if we were to instead ask for it to be checked again, and Luna was able to confirm Streamline was poisoned,
We're
Then we're
sunk.
sunk.
Okay, I see your point. But this is still a big gamble.
Nothing new.
you told me to put on a show of faith for Rainbow. I can't think of anything more of a show than this. We know she didn't poison Streamline. I know she didn't do it. All I need to prove is that she had another reason for swapping those juice boxes. Once I do that, the judge will have to dismiss this case.
I think Rainbow is ready to spill her guts anyhow. I don't know how much longer she can hold herself back. Luna's been pretty rough on every pony today.
He's not wrong. Rainbow is chomping at the bit over there. If we do this now, there won't be any turning back.
Prosecutor Luna, do you have any objections to make?
No. The prosecution will allow Rainbow Dash to take the stand. If anything, the defense has finally made a move we are interested in seeing played.
And if I'm lucky, it'll be the last move I need to make.
Very well. Let the defendant take the stand.
Come on, Rainbow. You can do this.
Defendant, state your name and occupation for the record.
Rainbow Dash. I'm a Wonderbolt reservist. For now. Anyway.
I take it you're aware of what you'll be testifying about?
Yeah, I know. I was listening.
Then by all means, proceed with your testimony.
Come on, Rainbow. Don't let my faith in you be for nothing.
Please, Rainbow. I know it's hard, but you gotta do this.
Okay, I admit it. I have been swapping out some of Streamline's juice boxes, even on the day she collapsed. But I didn't poison her! I'm innocent! Why can't you see that? And don't get me started on that tornado business. I didn't cause that either! That's all I'm gonna say. I want to remain silent about everything else.
The right to remain silent again?
Well, it's a right for a reason. At least this time, we got some room to maneuver.
Yeah.
True. Saying something is better than nothing at all. Rainbow's not the only one practicing that right. That's unusual, given how Luna was acting with Pinky. Did the judge's warning pay off?
Very well. Miss Sonata, you may cross-examine the defendant whenever you're ready.
Okay, I admit it. Objection!
Uh-oh.
What the?
I tire of this game of cat and mouse. Why not end this farce with that single admission and spare us all, defendant?
What?
Was that perhaps too oblique for you? I mean to say that you should admit that you are guilty and not delay the inevitable.
Luna.
I'm not doing anything like that, because I'm innocent!
Ms. Dash, relax. Prosecutor Luna, why—
I will say that you are most definitely failing to live up to the element you are the bearer of.
What? How?
Your Honor, this is too far.
Order! Order! I agree. Prosecutor Luna, it's bad enough that you've interrupted the cross-examination like this, but please stop antagonizing the defendant.
Your Honor, I mean not to antagonize, merely criticize.
It didn't sound like that to every pony else.
This case is of great importance. A future Wonderbolt not only resists arrest, needing to be dragged away like a child, but also continues to act so in court. How does that look to the citizenry? To have some pony behave with such juvenile arrogance when faced with a serious accusation? What does that say about the Wonderbolts? Have they abandoned their principles? Do discipline and esteem no longer matter? Are we meant to accept the idea that the Wonderbolts will let any pony into their ranks, regardless of how noxious they are? The Wonderbolts appear to be a failing institution. Or at the very least, one with absolutely no standards.
Prosecutor Luna, you've already been told once by Your Honor. That's enough.
I am done. Thus, my earlier comment has been proven.
What earlier comment?
That the defendant is failing to live up to the element she is the bearer of. Behold, Rainbow Dash, the element of loyalty. A reservist for the team she supposedly cares for so deeply. But there is no more loyalty in you than in a stewed prune.
Don't you dare!
Look at how she has betrayed the Wonderbolts in the most vile fashion. How she has wrecked all that they stood for. It is a tragedy that such a supposedly noble institution has crumpled into a mere shadow of what it once was.
Luna.
Look at who they've welcomed. Not a bright, fresh recruit, but an irredeemable killer. The hideous shadow of her presence inflicts a loathsome, charnel stain upon their legacy.
I'm the stain? Me? What? Your mane getting in your eyes?
Ms. Dash, wait.
Besides, it's Streamline who was the real stain on the team. Some pony like her has no place on the Wonderbolts. She shouldn't have been allowed at all. Ugh. I knew she was a dirty, good-for-nothing cheat from the start. But no pony believed me, because I didn't have any proof. Don't you get it? One of us had to pony up and do something about her. Some pony who wasn't afraid of getting a little dirty to do the right thing.
Rainbow! Just calm down.
Shut up, Sonata! Ugh. You know what? I'm glad this happened to Streamline. She got what she deserved. And if I could do everything over, I would—
Hold it! Rainbow, stop!
What? Sonata asked me to testify, didn't she? Isn't this what she wanted?
Don't you realize what you just said?
What I've said was the truth!
Rainbow? You basically just admitted to your guilt.
This is it. It's over. There's no coming back from this.
Prosecutor Luna, what do you have to say?
Yes, of course, Your Honor. Thanks to the defendant herself, the motive has become quite clear. Rainbow Dash believed her fellow Wonderbolt reservist, Streamline, was a cheater. After failing to prove this accusation, the defendant took matters into her own hooves. A punishment most foul was concocted in place of any actual proof. With a plot conceived under the blackest of influences to torment pony kind, Rainbow Dash decided she would poison Streamline through the creation and eventual administration of a poison called Gricklegrass. The justification appears to be a warped sense of moral vindication. An arrogant way of thinking, I must say, as is to be expected of a vigilante. The end result is a mare very nearly losing her life after a serious collapse. All of the evidence presented points to this being the case. Thus, we are given the means and motive. The prosecution rests.
As much as I agree with what you've just said, that wasn't what I meant, Prosecutor Luna. I meant, what do you have to say for yourself? You broke from procedure by interrupting the cross-examination. Not only that, but you then decided to start antagonizing the defendant and refused to back down even after I instructed you to stop. This, on top of your earlier bickering with the previous witness. To say that your performance today has been shameful would be an understatement. I'm shocked you would act this way.
I am simply doing my duty as I see fit, Your Honor.
Very well. Then I shall do mine. At the end of today's proceedings, I'm afraid you'll have to receive a penalty.
Thank you.
You were warned, after all.
I understand, Your Honor.
God.
As said, though, I do agree with your summary of the case and the motive you've put forth. While a bit unorthodox of a discovery, the defendant has indeed admitted to having felt the need to do something about the victim. She has clearly implicated herself, in my opinion.
What? No! That's not— None of that is right! None of it!
Miss Sonata? I'm sorry if this has come as a shock to you, but you had many opportunities to provide counter-arguments. While I'm sure this cross-examination didn't go as you might have planned, you were the one who requested the defendant testify.
Sonata, please tell me you have something to offer as a rebuttal. We can't let it end like this.
What can I even say? There are no more witnesses. And there's no point in trying to cross-examine Rainbow properly now. Sure, the cross-examination technically never ended, but Luna's right. Rainbow has both means and motive to commit this crime. She's practically confessed to poisoning Streamline, even if that wasn't what she meant. Asking her to testify was a huge mistake. How could she admit to something like that, though? Why would you admit that you think Streamline deserved what she got?
If there's nothing further, I'm ready to declare my verdict.
No. Is this it? Is it over? What do I do now?
In order to secure a guilty verdict, the prosecution must be able to prove beyond a reasonable doubt the means, motive, and causation of the accused. The defense, conversely, needs to show there is doubt for at least one of those things.
That's right. There's still one thing that hasn't been proven beyond reasonable doubt. The causation.
How do I know, you ask? The symptoms of said poison are very distinct, and they are a perfect match with the victim's condition. Those symptoms are a combination of sweating, a dangerously high heart rate, lightheadedness, followed by vomiting, extreme anxiety, and eventual collapse.
There we go.
What's this? It says Streamline was apparently murmuring something right before she passed out. Streamline was heard weakly repeating the words, "Stay, so sorry," up until the point of losing consciousness.
No idea. Your guess is as good as mine. You wanna know what I think, though? I think that Streamline was hallucinating.
Streamline was heard repeating something in a delirious state before she passed out. Even I assumed that this was just a reaction to the suspected poisoning. But maybe that's not the case. If we take what Captain Spitfire said at face value, there's a chance this could mean Streamline wasn't poisoned by Gricklegrass.
In the case of Rainbow Dash, I find the defendant...
Objection!
Yes, Miss Sonata?
I think it's a little too soon for a verdict, Your Honor.
Really?
The prosecution disagrees. If anything, this is becoming needlessly protracted. Everything required to demonstrate the defendant's guilt has been proven.
Not everything.
Everything? I wonder about that.
Make your point and be done with it.
Like I said, it's too soon for a verdict, seeing as how the true cause of Streamline's collapse has yet to be proven.
Objection! Of all the things to try and argue against yet again, have you not read the incident report? Do you not recall Detective Reed's testimony about the symptoms the victim presented? The cause of Streamline's incapacitation was Gricklegrass poisoning. Your unwillingness to see that does not occlude the facts.
No, it wasn't.
Oh, I'll admit, it certainly appeared like it at first. But there's one fatal error that has been made.
There is no such error. Streamline was suffering from the exact symptoms that we know Gricklegrass causes.
That's true, but only if you ignore a certain other detail.
What detail would that be?
This, Your Honor. Take that. I certainly have read the incident report, Prosecutor Luna. Maybe it's time we double-checked it together?
For what exactly?
Right here. Streamline was heard weakly repeating the words, "Stay, so sorry," up until the point of losing consciousness.
Does that mean something, though?
To Captain Spitfire, it does. She believes it was the result of a hallucination. And if we take that possibility into consideration, then it outright contradicts something else that has been presented to the court. Take that!
Oh, that's the Gricklegrass poison report, isn't it? From the EBI?
Exactly, Your Honor. As we can all see, nowhere does the report list hallucinations under the symptoms for Gricklegrass poisoning.
That's right. And if that's the case, then...
It's entirely possible that Streamline was not poisoned by Gricklegrass at all.
Objection! Captain Spitfire was not brought in to testify about the possibilities regarding the cause of the victim's collapse. She is no expert, Defense, and you would do well to remember that.
You're not seriously suggesting we just ignore this, are you?
The report speaks for itself. This incoherent rambling from the victim must be unrelated.
Could it be a prolonged condition the victim might have been suffering from prior to her poisoning?
Well, you were pretty quick to bring up Streamline's medical records earlier, Prosecutor Luna. How about it? Was there anything there that might line up with this reaction?
Kindly wipe that grin off your face, Defense. If it were that obvious, I'd have mentioned it.
Then you concede that this was not an underlying condition?
We concede nothing. This is merely some sort of rare, extraneous symptom of the poison.
You're stretching.
You'd like that to be the case, but I think you'll find it's not as simple as that. You recall Detective Reed's testimony. You've mentioned it after all. How about the part where he said that the symptoms for gricklegrass are very distinct? A rare extraneous symptom doesn't fit with how the Equestrian Bureau of Investigation describes gricklegrass, the supposedly easy-to-make poison. And we can't discount that as the words of a mere amateur. No, those are the words of the head of the EBI.
Yeah.
One of the foremost experts in all things crime. Yes! She's speechless. Looks like silence really is golden. It's proof positive that I'm on the right track.
Miss Sonata?
Yes, Your Honor?
While I understand where we're at, I can't help but wonder what the cause of this additional symptom was.
It's certainly a mystery.
Don't tell me it's another poison!
As easy as it would be to run with that, no. I need to get poisoning off the table. Or at least explain this hallucination in another way. No, Your Honor. I don't think so. This hallucination is likely the result of something else.
But what, though?
What was it Streamline said again? Stay, so sorry. That doesn't really seem like anything meaningful, though. Some of it sounds exactly as Luna described it. Incoherent.
There has to be a
Stay,
meaning to it, though.
so sorry. Stay, so sorry. Stay, so sorry. Is it really nonsense, though? Streamline wasn't in the best state when she was speaking, after all. Maybe those tending to her just misheard what she said.
That's possible. That is absolutely possible. Especially if she was, like, mumbling it.
From the sound of it, it seems as though what might have been misheard was the first part of what Streamline said. Stay, But what does that actually mean, though? What was Streamline trying to say?
Few ideas.
All this thought I'm putting into this, when it doesn't seem to even matter anyway. Whatever Streamline did say is unrelated to any of the evidence we found at the... It's a long shot, but it's really all I have at this point.
Go for it, Sonata.
Thorough re-examination. The first part of this is just small talk and Spike wishing us good luck. Sweet of him, but not altogether relevant. Next is... yes. Their investigation in Manhattan. Let's see. Is there anything here that has some significance? Anything at all? Come on. Stay.
Did you know that Overall used to come here with some pony named Stella?
Oh my fucking god!
Eureka!
Stella, I'm sorry!
No. That can't be a coincidence, can
Stella's
it?
so sorry.
But if it isn't, then that means...
Oh my god. I knew these cases were connected somehow. But the fact that's connected like this. Wow.
Could it really be that Streamline wasn't saying stay so sorry, but rather Stella so sorry? Is this even the same mayor though? No, forget about that. Focus on making sure Luna doesn't instantly shut this possibility down first.
Yeah.
Sonata, you okay?
Yes, I figured something out. Or a path forward at least.
Good. Let him have it.
Your Honor,
Yes?
while I can't explain what caused this hallucination, I can offer an explanation as to what it means.
Well, that's more than what I'm capable of. What does it mean?
That will become apparent after looking at this. Take that!
A letter?
Yes, this is a letter related to another investigation taking place right now in Manhattan.
Manhattan. Ah, you must mean Miss Rarity's case. Dreadful business, that.
Objection! Your proclivity for addressing the irrelevant is tiresome, Defense. This letter has no bearing on the case at Hoof.
Actually, it does.
Your Honor, if you simply read the letter and allow me to explain, you'll see exactly why it matters.
Defense? What are you playing at?
All right, Miss Sonata. I'll allow this. Now then, let's see here. Dear Phoenix and Sonata.
Used to come here with some pony named Stella.
Yes, skip
Do
over
you
that.
see that?
See what
Better.
exactly?
It's the name, Prosecutor Luna. Stella.
Yeah.
That's what it says, yes.
Now, let's think back to what Streamline was heard saying right before she lost consciousness. Stay, so sorry.
I can't make heads or tails of what that's supposed to mean. Even now.
She was apologizing. That much is obvious from the so sorry. But stay, that was the tricky part. And here we are, with the answer right in front of us.
Are you sure about this, Sonata?
It was Stella. Some pony whom Streamline knows, and whose relevance to the Manhattan case may extend to the incident at Wonderbolt Academy.
Objection! Your desperation knows no bounds, it seems. Not only are you asserting that the delirious comments made by the victim are relevant, but you're claiming they relate to a specific pony? Have you any idea how many ponies go by that name? How brazen are you to suggest that Streamline was referring to this particular mare?
So you admit that it's a possibility then? That Streamline was trying to say something about a mare, and that it wasn't her being incoherent?
Even if it is a possibility, what does it matter? This hypothetical mare the victim knew is completely inconsequential. Streamline's collapse is the issue, not this.
Objection! An issue that has a glaring inconsistency. This hallucination can't be explained. All I've done is present an argument for what it could mean.
Preposterous! Stuff and nonsense, that's all this is! As likely as Tartarus freezing over!
You can attack the likelihood of this theory all you like, but you can't ignore the core problem. That this additional symptom, this hallucination, suggests the possibility that something else caused Streamline's collapse. Your Honor, it'd be too soon to declare a verdict, wouldn't you say?
Please.
Come on, Your Honor. You know it as well as I do. Come on.
I will give my opinion. While I do agree that the theory presented is somewhat of a stretch, I cannot deny that it could be the case.
You don't mean...
I'm not sure if the theory will lead to anything, or if it has any relation to the direct cause of the collapse. However, we find ourselves in a rather unique situation, don't we? At least for Mr. Wright and me.
Yeah.
We do?
Well, yes. The victim is alive.
Oh, that she is.
Yeah, this
Man,
is a murder case.
What does it say when that's something of a rarity for us?
Yeah.
So, why not simply ask Streamline herself about this Stella mare for a start? That'd clear things up, wouldn't it?
I suppose so, Your Honor. Good idea, by the way.
Well, I don't mind pitching in every now and again. The extraneous nature of this hallucination concerns me, and I'd like for us to determine whether or not it has any relevance to the victim's condition. We still lack a definitive explanation for this additional symptom, after all. Thus, this gives me enough reason to adjourn for today and resume this trial tomorrow.
Thank you.
Does that sound acceptable to everyone?
Oh, God.
Yes, Your Honor.
If that is Your Honor's wish, then yes, it will be done.
That was a bit too close for comfort, but I made it. By the skin of my teeth, I made it.
Very well,
Instant
then.
closest. That was actually very
Court
close.
is now adjourned.
Closer than normal. Oh, God. Good job with that connection, Sonata. Holy shit. Wow. God, that was a lot. But, man, Luna. You're going too far. You're going way too far. I get why she's acting this way, I really do, but it doesn't mean that she's right at all. There is just so much. Like, I had a feeling that these cases were going to be connected to Sonata's first case, because of course we keep getting flashbacks to it. It's going to be connected somehow. I knew for certain that there was probably going to be a connection with Rarity's case. I did not think there was going to be a connection with Rainbow's, though. Oh, God. God, this is Trials and Tribulations all over again. We really need to figure out what happened to Na's first case. It's probably nothing good, but oh man. I also want to give a special shout out to all the VAs for this episode too, because wow. Just incredible job, jeez. I feel bad for Rainbow too. Like, she did dig herself into this hole a bit by, being stubborn, but it's a double-edged sword, really. I'm having trouble processing my thoughts right now. There is so much. But yeah, we made it through the trial by the skin of our teeth. That's not unusual for attorney cases, but wow, it was closer to normal. That teeth almost broke off. And yeah, this is a unique position because the victim of this case is actually alive. We normally don't get that unless we're doing spirit medium shenanigans. The attorney games are mainly known for their homicide cases, not civil cases. And like the 2 times where we had a civil case, it gets turned into a murder case anyways. One that hasn't even canonically happened yet. That's in Spirit of Justice. So yeah, great show for the team. Love all that. I was just speechless throughout most of it because, oh god. But yeah, I have no idea what to expect from next episode. Hopefully we can be able to talk to Streamline and get some more things cleared out. And yeah, I suppose I'll see you all next time then.